Hi guys, welcome back to Linda's Pantry. And it's a little loud in here because I've got my new gadget is going. Go gadget, Linda. Oh my goodness. And I got this because of Cat's Cradle. She was showing things that she used in her preps, and I thought, I need one of those little water kettle warmers. And so I bought this at Costco, and I was just shocked that they even had it. It's so funny how things work. The very same day, going to Costco, and there it was. Never seen it before. This thing is amazing. I can have a cup of tea in the morning in less time than it takes the microwave. So I always leave some water in here, but I'm heating up this water because I'm going to be doing some canning. I've got my sink about half full of hot water. I've already washed my jars with soapy water, but I need them to stay in hot water until I'm ready to start canning. Today we're canning ground beef, and this is the company that I've talked about before, Kinder's, and usually this 2-pound package of little barbecued mini chicken sausages, like little smokies. Usually that particular container right there, the 2 pounds, is almost $10. And they last a long time, but I'm like, they don't contain any pork or beef. They're only 5 grams of fat. They're delicious. It's what I made my smoky mac and cheese with. And so what I'd like to say is I'm going to can these because I got them for half off today, and I probably should have bought more, but I knew I'd be canning some ground beef, so I don't think there's room in the canner for all of it. So that being said, as winded as I am, I'm going to use the hot water at this point to put in the sink, to put the jars in, to keep them hot while I'm boiling the ground beef and getting my little smokies, or whatever you want to call them, barbecued chicken smokies, ready to go in the jars. So I'm going to boil the ground beef, and I'll bring you back when we're a little further along. I'm about ready to put that water in the sink and get my jars in there. Okay, guys, I'll be back. So I guess I'm not done rambling. I did want to tell you that the ground beef I bought at Costco, this is a little over 5 pounds. And I'm putting it down in some boiling water because I'm going to boil it. That takes all the fat I don't want in there. It's a 12% fat. And Noreen had done a video on the pink slime, and I couldn't remember if she said Costco used the pink slime or not. And I was like, I saw it on the news that no, they did not, and they would not. And so today when I went in there, I asked the butcher, I said, do you guys use pink slime in your ground beef? And he looked at me like I had 4 heads, and he goes, ma'am, I don't know what you're talking about. And he goes, and I'm like, have you seen it on the news? He hadn't seen it, but I said, do you grind it all fresh right here? Because I believe that most of the pink slime issues are places like Walmart, places that package at another facility, and it's not ground fresh. And he said, no, we grind it fresh every day, and I don't put anything pink in there. So that was comforting. I hope that he was telling the truth and that he doesn't know what he's putting in there. I don't know. But anyways, I thought that I would ease your mind. I'm hoping we're not eating pink slime, even though we've probably eaten it for years. And the people that were listening to me talk to him also showed great concern about that, and so I think all of us are concerned with eating the right things, given the choice, and not being led around like little sheep with blindfolds on and earmuffs. So there you go. That's my little deal on that, and I don't want to eat it either. So I've got my ground beef in. I'm going to let this come to a boil. My jars are in the sink, and I can't wait. We're going to do some canning. It's my favorite thing to do. Anyway, I'll bring you back when I'm further along. I have some sad news. I went to open that package, and I had grabbed And I've wiped this rim. I had grabbed the package of Kinder's meat on the sample right above where they were giving out samples. I mean, he had it sitting on an ice chest, but I grabbed it and didn't think a thing about it. The one I had in the fridge was dated used by March 25th. So I'm well within that guideline. And one of the packages was not sealed tight. It was kind of, air had gotten in there, and so that concerned me. That made me look at the date. And when I looked at the date, it was March 12th. Now, I opened it and smelled it, and it smells fine, but I'm not going to put something back in my extended pantry that somebody's going to open. Unbeknownst to them, they're going to have something, you know, that's not a good product. And so I just won't do it. Anyway, that being said, we're not canning but 1 pound of those little barbecued smokies. So the rest is going to be ground beef. And, you know, I'm going to take it back to Costco tomorrow. They're good for it. And that's too bad. I mean, it's kind of sad, but that's what happens, you know. So I didn't pay attention, and I should have, and they should have. So there you go. Okay. My mom would have said, use your nose, Linda. Well, I did. And it smelled okay, but I know that the canning process for this is going to be okay, but it's still, this is for my family or friends that may not, you know, we don't need anybody sick at any time in this journey. So it's okay. It's all good. We're going to just move on. And I'm kind of the type that anymore, if it didn't happen the way I had planned, it's God's plan and it's okay. I'll go with that plan because I know it's the better one anyway. Okay. And quit making plans for myself. So, I'm going to try to get this ground beef pack down in there pretty good. And this is such a low fat ground beef that I want all the flavor. I was going to put hot water in there, but I think I'm going to use the stock that's left in these, just so I have some beef flavor in this ground beef. Ground beef, as a child, I could not stand it hardly because it just was, to me, it was very bland. It was very cheap for us to eat, and it tasted like it to me. But as I've gotten older, even though I don't cook a lot of things with ground beef necessarily, I have come to appreciate how I can change it to my liking and make it more flavorful, and well, this would be one of them. So anyway, now I wish I had 2 of those 5-pound packages of ground beef, but that's all right. We're gonna deal with what we have, right? It's all good. And again, we're gonna dump over the excess. And you always, once I start, ooh, that's hot. Once I start getting the jars filled with liquid, I'm really gonna have to debubble and do all that. So, okay, I can turn off the lids and rings in the back and get this going. I won't bore you with the rest of this. I'm going to go ahead and fill these jars. I'm going to add some stock to it because this looks and smells really actually very good. So I'm going to add that stock to this mix and get these going in the canner. And it's almost 5 o'clock now. There's no alternative options for me at this point to fill the canner if I don't fill it. It's all good though. We'll do what we gotta do. Okay, I'll bring you back. All right, you guys, I'm back. And actually, I've got 6 pints of ground beef that I'm really happy with. And so we're not gonna run the canner too empty. 6 pound, or it's not going to be a full pound in here. That's just the way it is. And I wanted to let you know that the sink that I had my jar soaking in, I don't waste that water. Now I've added my dish soap to it, and I am now washing everything, including this jar that probably got dripped on, and my 1 pint of barbecued little smokies are in the canner heating up, because those, even though I put hot water over them, they didn't have the water going on. So I'm gonna get myself another funnel. I like my old one. These old ones are thicker, and I have a more accurate measurement for them. And like I said, I'm just gonna put the beef stock or broth, as it will, right in there. A lot of times I'll put water and make dog food out of this, but I think that we want a beefy flavor. It doesn't take a lot to come down here and fill this jar. You do want to make sure that you debubble and wipe off your rims and fill it within an inch of the head space. I have come to really love canned ground beef more than when it's a rarity that you see me buy ground beef to make a burger. Or something else like that. I really have to be craving beef or a hamburger, or I need a video. And I've got to give you a visual. Anyway, so there will be some left over, and I'm going to leave this in the pot. I'm going to go ahead and steam some rice for the dogs and make sure they're happy. And we're just going to debubble. Make sure that everything in there gets, you know, that one's going to need some more. Ground beef, any kind of ground meat, the air can get trapped in there pretty easy. Easier than bigger chunks, I think. Now, some of you might say, no, I don't believe that. But so we're going to go back through, make sure that they have enough liquid. Oh, and there's some meat. And my dogs are going to be so excited to know that I've canned again, because they love this. They like it when Mama cans something. And then when you get all done and this is ready to use, the fat will stay at the top. And if you store it in a dark, cool place, it's fine. That fat isn't going to go rancid. If it was sitting in a hot, sunlit room, then I'd be worried. But I don't really worry about this. It's not enough to worry about. And when you open the jar, you just take that fat right off. But you have all the flavor in here. And this is just a napkin that's been dipped in white vinegar or water. You just want to make sure that all of your rims of your jars are free of any cracks, chips, which I do anyway, but you know, they can crack while they're in the sink. They can chip. So, and finger tight. That's it. Put it in the canner. We're going to can these pints for 75 minutes at 15 pounds of pressure, and that's because of my altitude. So when somebody on YouTube says 10 pounds of pressure, that's because of their altitude. So I'm pretty high up in the atmosphere. So it takes a little bit. Oh, that's beautiful. I'm excited. You guys, I know you've seen me do this, but some of my new people probably haven't gone back and looked at these. Or, you know, every video that somebody puts out, I don't care if they've done that procedure 10 times, they're going to tell me something different, right? So you might get some different information. All right, you guys, I'm going to bring you back when it's all done, and I'm bringing it out of the canner, and I got a big pot of little doggy rice for my puppies. All right, I'll be back. Oh yeah, and when you put the canning lid on, for those of you that haven't been into the canning thing, I'm sorry, it's like that time of day for the sun. When I put that canning lid on top of that canner, it is gonna vent for 10 minutes, a full vent you need for 10 minutes, and then that tells you it's up to pressure, all the air is out of the canner that can be, and you're good to go to put the weight on and start. And then I don't start timing until that weight, that 15-pound weight, starts jiggling. And so, yeah, that's what I'm doing. Okay, I'm excited. I'm bummed I'm 1 jar short, but I would have been 1 jar heavy, looks like. So, it's all good. Okay, you guys, this is vented for a full 10 minutes, and I put the weight on, and now it's come up to a rock where this weight, this 15-pound weight is rocking. And I want to, my stove, I know it pretty well with this canner, so it's a gas stove. I keep it on about 7, still medium high, and it keeps it at a constant rocking. And this is going to can now. I'm going to set the kitchen timer for 75 minutes. And that's an hour and 15 minutes. Anyway, set, and when the timer goes off, I'll turn off the stove and let it cool down, and we'll be all good. I did want to remind you guys, don't forget the contest, my subscriber contest ends on Sunday, and it's a nice prize package. I've got another contest coming up though, so if you missed this one, you can probably get in on the next one. I hope you guys shoot me a video. All right, I'll be back. All right, the last leg. Oh my goodness. Okay, this canner has had a chance to come down off of pressure, and it's 8 o'clock at night right now, so I'm ready to get this over with. You know, if any of you can a lot, this is a labor of love as well as very rewarding. I mean, I love to do this. It's addicting. But I also, you know, I struggle for time in my life because of the amount of hours I work and the amount of hours my husband works, because even if I don't work that many hours, whatever hours he works past a point of helping, I have to step up my game and make up for that. So it's hard to fit it in. Anyway, I just commend all of you who do fit it in, and I just want to let you all know that who are new at this, you want to make sure that this pressure canner comes way off of pressure. The valve in the back comes down, and you know that it's safe to open it. You've taken off your weight off of here. It's off. It's still extremely hot, and I've let it sit here for a while, but I'm also going to lift that lid so it opens away from me. You can see that steam. You could get a horrible steam burn just from lifting a lid off. So there's no reason to be, you know, I guess risky or in a hurry. I know it's exciting. I've been there, done that. But I also know when you have a jar fail, it's such a big failure because it's hours of your time and effort and money. So it's just better to do it the right way the first time. And so I'm just gonna leave that lid off to the side, let some of that steam come out on its own. I kind of think, yeah, I just want to let it come down a little bit more before I pull jars out, because what happens is those jars are still really boiling in there, and I'm hearing a ping. See, as soon, a couple pings. As soon as you start cooling things down, that suction and the vacuum starts to happen. But I'm going to let this cool a few more minutes. I'm going to go put some sweats on, and I'll bring you back when they're all done. And I bring them out. And they're beautiful. All right. Oh, ping, ping. Isn't that exciting? I love it. You guys, you probably think I'm a nutball, but I don't care. It's really fun. All right, you guys, I'm back. I think my other memory card was either out of memory or something. But what I've got down here, you're going to see, this is the jar that I heard popping, and it's popping, it's sealing, unsealing, sealing, unsealing. And this is the leftover stock / broth, fatty broth that I had. See? Okay, so I don't know if it's going to seal. I've never had this happen. So if any of you have had that happen, where you've had a jar do this, because let me bring you in and you can see what it's doing. It is, the lid is popping. And then it pops, it sucks it down, and then it pops it back out. And then it sucks it down. And it's doing it less and less often as it cools. But I canned the rest of that broth / fatty stock. I don't know that I'm going to be able to use it because of what's going on, but we'll see what happens with the jar. New experiment. Anyway, it's the only one in the canner that's doing that, which maybe I got it too full. I don't know. Because what I did was I could not let go of having the canner partly empty. I could not, knowing I had something that I could put in there. And so I thought, well, if I was making a ground beef and rice dish, wouldn't I want some of that liquid and fat if I could have it? And so we can bacon, we can, got another one, maybe. This is another stock / fat jar. Here's another one. I just couldn't throw it away. I'm sorry. And so there you have it. And maybe that's why I'm not supposed to can it. I don't know. But I had 3 pints of ground beef and I got 1 pint of the chicken barbecue little smokies. Those look good. That I canned. It was going to be more, but I didn't trust the other package, so it all worked out for the best. And it looks like these jars are sealing with the stock, or I wouldn't call it stock, but it was the residual liquid off of the ground beef. I boiled that in water, and then I didn't season it. I didn't do anything different to it. Let me bring you over here with a better view. Okay. All right. Maybe this will help. Ooh. Look at that. There's the ground beef and the little smokies. I love it. You gotta love it, right? Don't you? Okay. And it looks like those jars in the back with the broth in them, looks like they're gonna seal just fine. But they did do a little weird dance. Up, down, up, down, up, down. So apparently there's some pressure issues. I don't know. I've never even had that when I did broth, but pretty funny. So I hope YouTube and all my subscribers, newcomers, I hope this inspires you to go ahead, take advantage of a good buy when you can. And wow, there's my cell phone. Take advantage of a good buy when you can, and put away for a rainy day. This is fun. It's very rewarding. I know now that I have this on my shelf, and I don't have to worry about, oh my gosh, I can't afford, or I don't have. I can say, yes, I have it. And this is, how many meals? 1, 2, 3, 7 1-pound meals, 1 pound of meat per meal, Anyway, so in my guesstimation, that feeds a family of 4, put along with pasta or rice or whatever it might be. And then I've got the stock in the back there that if I was going to do a rice dish, that's what I'd cook it in. So I hope it helps. I hope it inspires you. I hope you come back next time. I hope you forgive me for babbling. And as always, if you like this, give me a thumbs up. And if you really like it, go ahead and post it on your Facebook page. All right, guys. God bless. Sorry for the movement.